Hello class. Today we'll actually be making a connection between radian and degrees. So what is a radian exactly? Well, it's a unit of angle equal to an angle at the center of a circle whose arc is equal in length to the radius. So if that's not jiving, if you're not quite getting that, then think of it like the distance of the radius on the circumference of the circle. So you have a radius, it's right here, right? You measure that, and then you stretch it out across the arc of the circle like this. That same little red line. That's a radian. Thus, that's why we call it a radian, root from radius. So I found this wonderful interactive game at Deering Math. Thank you, Mr. Landry. And he also has built a wonderful interactive tool we'll be using in class with GeoGebra, a little slider to help us understand. And he actually went through the trouble of measuring, like if this is 1 radian, and then taking that same line and stretching it around the circle, the arc of the circle here, the circumference, all the way around. And when you do, he has 6 radian here. It doesn't quite wrap around the circle. So just kind of keep that in mind. So the numbers didn't quite fit. And the people that were mathematicians when they were studying this came up with pi because they wanted everything to fit. And what pi is it's the relationship between, or a ratio, and they're going to take the circumference around the circle and calculate that and divide it by the diameter, which is right inside here. And they came up with this number, and every circle known to man will actually create this lovely number right here. If you're a beautiful, perfect circle, your circumference divided by your diameter is going to equal this lovely number. And so you can imagine how excited this mathematicians were when they found pi, because it all made sense, because they kept seeing this number pop up over and over and over again when they were studying any type of circle, perfect circle. So how are radians, radii, diameter, degree, and pi, what are you talking about? How are they all related? Well, every circle, if we create a circle, then we know the definition of a diameter. It's going to be our longest chord passing through the center. Trying to pass through the center there. Well, I did my best. That always makes a straight line, and we know the measure of a straight line is 180 degrees. Therefore, we can now determine and use this measurement right here, that 180 degrees is actually going to be equal to 3.14 radians. I know it was falling short, so it has to be a little bit further along. So they said, oh, well, it's going to be equal to pi, that very special number every time. So they took a basic unit of 1, like measuring it from the center out, wrapped it around, and came up with the 3.14, goes on for days. And so now we know we're going to take this information and apply it. It says, and what we've come up with now is that pi is going to actually be equal to 180 degrees on every circle. So how can we apply that information? Well, let's think about it. If 180 is pi, and then you know also 360 over here is double of 180, then that should be 2 pi. You may want to pause the video and just stop and think about that for just a moment. Come up with your own thinking process. But there actually is a shorter way to do this, kind of a shortcut. And we talked about it a little bit in class. You can simply convert all of these measures of degree into radians by multiplying each one of them by pi over 180. So, again, you would be taking each one of these, like the 30-degree mark that we have here, and you're going to multiply that times pi over 180 degrees. Now, and you'll continue that on all the way around the circle and convert every one of these measures from degree into radian. Now, after you finish that one, and we'll work on that in class, we can actually convert from degree back to radian by multiplying by the inverse of what we just saw, or the reciprocal of what we just saw. So, again, if we multiply pi 6 times 180 degrees over pi, then we can actually find out what that measure will be. We will continue working on those in class, so go ahead and complete the entire circle. Good luck.